It's been years since the first Dead Island game. Almost 12 years, in fact. But now the next installment has come out at long last with Dead Island 2. An action-packed zombie game that takes you to the heart of the undead apocalypse in LA. Or Hell-A as the game calls it. Cut, shoot, and maim your way through zombie hordes as you find out more about your immunity, the apocalypse, and Hell-A.
All got covered up, but I survived. You wanna know how? I'm immune.
Big deal. So are they.
Say what?
Your characters are thrown right in the middle of a mass evacuation. It starts out with an opening sequence that shows the 6 playable characters in the middle of getting into the evac plane. It takes off, but as soon as it's in the air, an undetected infected passenger starts biting the rest of the other passengers, infecting most of the plane. The plane is then shot down as it is now contaminated. The player character somehow survives the plane crash and is on the lookout for other survivors. This is where you run into the famous actor Emma John. She goes ahead and proceeds to her home. She also tells you the address so you can visit at a later time. While helping the other survivors, you get bit. In a daze from the virus spreading throughout your body, you head on over to Emma's. Eventually, everyone realizes that you're bit.
Crazy's everywhere. It's a miracle you didn't get bit. Ew, is that?
And they cuff you to gym equipment just for good measure. But after you wake up, you find out you're immune. And this starts your journey around Hell-A as you try to find out what's going on in the apocalypse and what the truth is behind your immune body.
Know me more than you realize.
Okay, let's do this weird conversation. Oof.
Do you feel that pulsing in your marrow? Like a promise.
The main story is very simple. It's written very straightforwardly with no subtlety and is quite predictable. The mystery they created with your immunity was fun, but once it came to a certain point, you could have pieced together the puzzle yourself. That's not a bad thing. But we're not giving plus points for being average. Aside from the main story, the side quests and side characters are pretty endearing. The devs made sure to adorn the cast with colorful characters befitting LA.
Remember to follow, subscribe, slam that like button like they when their parents aren't home. That's it for this video. Armada dismissed.
Oh, on that note, please like and subscribe. There's a lot of campiness with how Dead Island 2 deals with its story and characters. It certainly puts a lot of lightheartedness and fun during the grim zombie apocalypse setting. It's a stark contrast to its cousin Dying Light 2, where the story is a lot more somber and deals with very heavy decisions. So if you like Dying Light but don't feel like getting into the downer mood, Dead Island 2 is a good alternative.
Sorry, zombie. Party's over.
Not a zombie, yo.
Is it the pizza?
At the core of Dead Island is a game that lets you go ham on zombies. I mean, just check this out. The game has loads of ways for you to take zombies down with a lot of different weapons, upgrades, and environmental creativity. This is the one big selling point of Dead Island 2. The combat is fun, the impacts hit hard, and the violence is very satisfying. There are also different zombie types that you have to look out for, so it encourages you to adapt to what's out there as well and change up your equipment and methods to suit the situation. Is your zombie friend wearing a fireman suit? Fire's probably not effective. Try a good old bat smack. Electricity-proof zombies? Can't use electricity. Maybe some acid will do the trick. You can also unlock Fury mode after a while, where you enter a kind of rage state and you gain superhuman strength, and will recover health for every zombie you kill. It's great against powerful zombies and huge crowds. There are 6 playable characters that you can choose from. They all have their own unique skills and playstyles, but for this review we mostly chose Carla. Carla is a bit of a tank. She's a stunt motorcyclist who lives for the thrill. This reflects a little bit in her gameplay. She thrives on being right in the middle of all the action. Her innate skills allow her to get a damage boost when she's near multiple enemies, and gets a toughness boost when she's at low health. There are also more skills to get in the game through the skill card mechanic. There are 4 types, and some skills are made only for specific characters. For example, Steadfast is a skill card that only Carla and Ryan can use. When they block attacks successively, it gives them a toughness and force boost, which builds up to their tanky nature. The 4 types of skill cards are ability skills, survivor skills, slayer skills, and human skills. Combine the unique characters, weapon variety, weapon customization and upgrades, and the ability to choose your skills, and you can specifically tailor your character to your own zombie slaying style. But even with all that, you get used to the gameplay and it'll feel very samey at a certain point. Once you get the guns and the Fury ability, everything feels easier. Shooting guns also isn't as satisfying. So during our play, we would resort to melee cause it just felt better and more fun to use. While we haven't tried out all the characters and tried out multiplayer, we don't really see how playing that would alter the core gameplay too much. It would still be just zombie whack-a-mole. Maybe even more so with 2 other players going with you on full Fury mode. The graphics are nice to look at, but it doesn't do much to set itself apart. Its art style and fidelity are neither striking nor cutting edge. The music isn't particularly attention-grabbing either. It does its job, but it goes from one ear and out the next. However, the detail they put into the dismemberment, burning, melting, and crushing of zombie flesh is gruesome, vivid, and a sight to behold. This is all thanks to the game's flesh system. It's short for Fully Locational Evisceration System for Humanoids. Definitely one of those, think of an acronym first, meaning later kind of deal. But what it is a system that they devised in order to show a more realistic way for these zombies to get damaged. You can see the slashes, the broken bones, the dismemberment, the guts, the ooze, everything in all its disgusting but morbidly fascinating detail. Right down to the realistic way the skin burns or melts off a body. The flesh system really complements the gameplay very well. We're here to rend, tear, and smash zombies, so it's only natural that we want to see the destruction we leave in our wake. And the flesh system definitely makes us look back at our work and say, "Oh yeah, I did that. I tore a hole in that zombie's face," with our chest out and our heads held high in pride. So, Dead Island 2. It's fun. It's just straight up fun. The story is so-so, although trying to solve the mystery of what happened to the world and what's happening to those who are immune is pretty interesting, it does get pretty predictable. The graphics aren't mind-blowing and the music isn't standout either. But when we get down to it, Dead Island 2 is about mowing down hordes of zombies. If you want to just turn your brain off, smack around some zombies, this is an incredibly fun game. The comedic campiness of the story and the characters are just the icing on top of the cake. However, it does come at a price. Quite literally. The price of Dead Island 2 at release is $70 US, with the other editions only going up in price. Considering the average story and the fairly repetitive gameplay, we think it's going to be a hard sell at that price. We're giving Dead Island 2 a 7. It's a very fun game, but considering that the other aspects of the game are very average and that the really high price tag makes it really hard to recommend just for a turn off your brain zombie bashing simulator. But that's what we think. What do you guys think? Was the long wait for this game worth it? Is the price tag worth it? Tell us in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching. If you want to watch other video game related content, check out the rest of the channel. Give us a like, subscribe, check out our Twitter if you have one. This is Game Made Information Station, signing off.